So hello friends. So today we will talk about the list. So in last video we have told about the Boolean type. Now list is very much important and very useful and used a lot when you are just iterating something or storing the values. So the all of you who are already into the some programming or into the Java, so as you know that we have the list in Java also because I am from the Java background, so I know about this list and hash map and other things. So the same thing is with the list. So a person who do not have know about the list is simple. I would like to make them understand. List is just like a container or a variable where you can store the multiple single values like arrays. So list of names or list of numbers and other things. So list is just holding the multiple values into a your variable. So let's do what are the operation available, because if you will see the previous version of automation anywhere in 10.x or 11.x, they have very limited functions on the list. So many times you have to do it, work around it, or you have to write your own logic to do something like assigning values from one list to another, or you're adding items or removing items like this. But in this list package of A2019, they have made it very easy to manipulate that values in storing it to the list and do the multiple operations on it. So let's try do those things. So in my videos you will always find some examples to how to do it and how to check it, that one. So let's build one more bot here with the list operations. Fine. So here in the variable you can check it that we have the list as a data type here. So let's create it one v my list object. So in this case you can see that we have the default values. Even you can assign the values here, so you can populate the list from here also only that. And you can see that value at 0, so the index of list start from 0 only, not 1 as in others. So here it will start at 0, and you will use this index when you are retrieving some of the values. So you have to remember this, don't forget that it is start from the 0. Here you can start the value. So here if you have chosen the string, so all the values will you have to choose it in string only. You can see here it will choose all as a string here. But if you require that list can store multiple values or different types, so in that case you always choose subtype as any. So if you will choose any as a subtype, so in that case it will allow you to store the different types. Like you can choose on index 0 as a string, on index 1 you can choose it as number, or in index 2 you can assign it as a date time or boolean. So you can do like this also. This will also be useful. I will let you know that where it will be useful. For example, you are just calling some records or row which is having a different, and you want to store each row into the list, right? So in that case, because all columns are of different types, in that case you can store it in the different types here. If you know already that this column is having this type of data, mean it has a boolean type of data, or it has a date time of data, so you can choose in this case list of multiple type, and you can assign it as a subtype here. So here we are not doing like that, so we will take it as a string only and assign some values here and initialize here. So this I'm initializing here, but you can also read from CSV or you can read from Excel or database or anything else and store the values here. So right now let me assign it. So what we will see, we will put it some name list. Okay, make it like we will say first name Mahesh, second name Raju, third name Shakir, and fourth name we'll say Laiju, something like that. Or make it one more, make it five name. So up to four index we have made it. That is five names are there. Then and create the list. So we got the variable with the list type where we can play something. Let's go to the list and package. So this is the list package, and we have all these options available where we can manipulate it or we can do the different operations. So these are the actions: add items, mean adding items to our existing list, assign some values, clear the list, get items from the list, join items of the list, remove some items or set items or size. So these all items. So let's try one by one and check it how it will be used. So first of all, what we will do it, we will start from the size. Let's check whatever the list we have created and what's the size of that list. So let's drag and drop the size. That what will be the size. So if you remember, we have five names, so it should give the five. So the result will be in definitely will be in numbers, or that is a, or it's just size is like a length in Java it's used as a length. So we will see v size only, right? We say list size as a number. Create it. Let's put a message box to display the list size. So let's put it here, Montag, and display list size is, let's say, shift dollar my list, not my list, I have assigned it some values here. Okay, my list size dot to numbers, apply. List size I have not saved. Let's save this also. Okay, fine. So you can see we have the start, we have the size here, and we are just displaying the size of our list. Let's save it and run this and check it what the show the list size now. So as expected, as you know that list size was 5, so it's display the 5 names here. So we have the 5 size. So we will know that there are 5 names now in the list. So this is how you can see the list. Let's come back to the list. Now what we will do, we have already 5 names and we have the size here. So let's do one thing, we will add one more item to it. Alright guys, so when you are adding an item to the list, like we have the view my list and we need to add the item here, so you have to take the item from the some of the variable, you can add it here actually. So let's create one variable of name, say new name, new name, and that will be the string, and assign some values what you like to say, like say probably. So this is the new item comes, we want to add to this list, so it will ask you item to be added. So we have the item added is a new name now. So you have to assign here whether you want this name to the end of the list or you want some on some specific index. So here you can assign if you require on the sum of this specific index. Like if you are assigning on this 0, so it will go into the start of the list. If you will provide 1, so it will add it on the 1, and whatever remaining will be there, they have shifted further. So the position, the name existing on 1, it will shift to 2, and 2 will shift to 3, like this. So it will they on keep on shifting. So what you like to try? Let's try with the and first. Right, so we want to add it to the end of the list here. Now apply. Oh, okay, fine. Size will definitely will show wherever it store it. It will show you the size. Right, that will be 6. That's easy. What we like here now, that we will want to check it at what position our new name has been set it actually, or add it. So let's check it that one. So come back to the list. So guys, for getting the items, all items from the list, so you have to loop the items. So when we have to display all the items, let's loop, that is iterating the list. So let's iterate it here and add it a loop action here. So in a loop action we will go more on it, but maybe I'm going through different types of loops already into this tutorial. So I think you will already understand that how this loop works. So let's, for each item in the list, let's check that one. And what will be the list? The list is my list, right? So whether you want all items in the list or just some range. So what guys, what you like to have, all item or the range? Let's say all items, so that we can see that it's iterating all. But you can define a range also. So if you remember, we have the index from 0, so we can define it into the 0 also. Or if you require from 3 to 6 or 3 to 5, you can define it like this. But in this case, if you define it to index wrong, so in that case it will give you an error. So let's iterate through all items of this one. Where you want to assign it? I want to assign the current value to the prompt. Okay, so whatever it will fetch the value, it will assign it to the prompt here. Let's go into the message box, bring it into the loop, because when the loop will move, then we will have this message box to display each item. So here our item is right now, we have stored the value into the prompt. So let's choose the prompt only and apply. If you like, you can have one more here to check the size also. Copy action, and I want it after this, paste after this action. And here we can check the size also, that what will be the size. So if you remember, we have added one item, it will show you one item more on it. So list size into number, apply. Let's save this program. Something we have not saved, I think. Loop, we have not saved it. Let's save this. Message box, we have saved it. Everything we have saved it. Let's run now. So now it will, what it will do, it will first show you the list size, that what will be the list size. So you can see that the list size is 6 now. We have added one more item to it, and then it will now iterate through each items. So our first item is Mahesh. So as you remember that we have added that to the end of the list. So Mahesh, then Raju, then Shakir, then Laiju, Dinesh, and the Praveen. Good. So let's have a one more test here. As you remember that we have added the new item in the end of the list. So let's put it in some index. I want to put it into the index of after Mahesh. Mahesh is the 0 1. So I want it at the position of 1 actually. So let's try this and check it. Run it again. So now it will show you as list size remain the 6. Okay, fine. So now we have the Mahesh, and after Mahesh I want this Praveen to be placed here. So if you see list, okay, size is coming as a this Praveen, no problem. We have not changed the message here. So we have the Praveen here. And what about the others? They have shifted now. The Raju here, Shakir here, Laiju here, and Dinend here. So what it does, it put it in that index where whatever we have defined it that to be placed, and the rest of the values it has all shifted one by one to further on there. They've added to it index there. So this is how it works. Let's go back to the our list package. So we have checked that how we can add the items and size we have checked it. Okay, assign. So assign is assigning one list value to the another list value. This is simple like one string to another string we assign it. The same thing we can assign one list to the other list. So you guys like me to do that? Okay, let's go through it. So add item, we do not want to add items, remove this. Size is okay, keep it like that. Loop is okay, fine, we will loop through the items. Now what we'll do, we will assign the my list. Actually we already have the list here, my list. I want to assign to our new list. Let's create one another list. So guys, lists are dynamic. We do not require to define the number of items to be existed, not like array actually. So they are all dynamic, they can increase and decrease. So let's define it a second list. It's an empty list right now. We don't have any value here, right? So if you like, you can check it here also. Let's copy here, paste after assign, so that we can check it that our new list is empty before assigning. So here we will okay, fine, we will see list size, but we have to assign the size also, right? In that case, let's copy this also. So what we will do, we will just have this before assign. Actually we required this before assigning, so we can take it little up now. And here what we'll do, we will have the size here. We will take the size of this also. Let's copy this and paste after this. So here we will take the list of second list, and store it the, let's put it in the same, no problem. Apply here. So first time it will show 6 and another one it will show the 0 here. So in message box, okay, we are showing the list here. In the second it will show you the but we have to take it further, otherwise it will fine. So now we have assigned this. Now in the second, just check the size of the next list, that is second one. No, list size dot to number, right? Okay, fine. So this is here we can check the size here. Now we will assign it. So what we will do, it we will have this my list and we have the second list. We are assigning to the second list. Now loop through the second list now and check it whether now item exists or not. Here we will see second list here instead of the first list, and we iterate all these uh, items available into the list in second list and save each values to the prompt assignment. Let's apply this and save our bot. So from here you can zoom in and zoom out also if you like. So let's zoom out so that we will have all this. Too small. Okay, fine, this will be okay. Now save it and run this. So here we will see that what will be the two size of each list, and we can iterate the second list. So the first list, if you remember, we have initialized with 5 items, so it's showing the list size of 5. The second one was of the 0 size, the second list. Now we will assign it and we will go through iterate through the items available into the second list. So now it assign it to the second list and it's showing the Mahesh, Raju, Shakir, Laiju, the name. So this is how the assignment will work. It will assign this to the second list here. So guys, so we have completed the assign. Clear is simply a clear of the, if when you are just okay, disable this. We don't need this loop right now. Disable action. Okay, assign, delete this. We do not require assign. Size also we don't need it. Okay, fine. Retract this only. So what if you remember this part, what we have taken in the, we have just in my list, we have the size here, right? That was a, and we assign it to the number here. We have that our my list and we are assigning to the number. Then we just shows the list size here, whatever the list size here. Now what we will do, we will clear this. So what the clear will do, it will whatever the my list items will be there, it will delete, it will remove all the list items. So let's my list, clear this list and then check the size. So we have the my list and assigning to again with the number, and we will check it the size of this one, right? So as per this program, what will happen, it will just first message the actual size, and then after that it list size after clear. So it will provide the message what is list size after clearing the list. So let's save this bot and run this bot. So you can check that initially we have this 5 items available into the list, and after clear we have 0 items. So list size after clear is 0. So this is how you can clear the list and make it as a zero size. So many times we know when you are just writing some bot, you require to initialize the list or make it a zero to put a number again or other. So these things you can perform this type of action here. So let's remove this. We don't need it, this one right now. Delete this. We don't require to clear this list. Delete this action also. Size, we already have the size. I don't need it. Remove this. Okay, fine. So this is how we can get the list. Now get item is when iterating, what the iterating do actually. Iterating, you can have the number of items when you are iterating through all each items of the list. But if you require a particular item on the specific index, so you can get it that values. So in that case you do not have to iterate through all the items. You just get the specific index item that I want item available on index 4 or on index 2. So let's get this one. So we got the item here. Get item, I want the item out of my list on index 0. So on index 0 it is a Mahesh, if you remember. So let's get the item number. So remember this thing, guys. Index number should be not more than the list size. Actually it should be list size minus 1, because we are starting the index from 0. So if you have a list size of 6, so maximum index you can give is 5, otherwise it will throw an error to you. So we have the 5 size, so we can give the 4, which will show you the last one. That will be the name, if you remember. So let's apply this. I want to output to the where you want to, okay, prompt assignment, assign this value. So it will get that value and show to you. Let's say get item is on index 4 is, let's get the item dollar prompt assignment, okay, and apply. Now save this and test this. So as per our expectation, it should return the last item, that is the name I remember. Oh, fine. So get item on index 4 is the name. So maximum size, as I just told you, get item should not be indexed more than whatever the list price you have. So if you will define 5, then it will give you an error. So you can see there was a problem at line 2, because index 5 is out of range, because it start the index from 0. So that's why it's saying provided index item 5 is out of range for the list size 5. So be careful when you're defining the index here, guys. So this is how you can get the items. So we have done this practical, we have done this test. Delete this item. Now join items. So join items, what it will do, it will, if you have the list of names and you want it to be stored into some string, so you can store it. You can join items on the basis of some delimiter. So for example, I have my list, I want a delimiter as a dash here, and I want to store it into the prompt. So what it will do, it will just give you one single string, storing the whole values here. Let's try this. Already we have, you can put it here, joined names. Apply, save, and run. So here you can see join names are what it does, it whatever the five names are there, it just separated by the dash here for each item and give the list to it. So this is how you can join the items. You can define any delimiter, you can have the dash, or you can have the semicolon, or whatever you required. You can put any type of delimiter here. Okay, we have done this. So remove item is removing item out of the list. So if we have to remove some item, so let's remove item. So we have already 5 items here. I want to remove Mahesh from this list. So let's my list index is available at index 0 and assign value to it. So this is where it will provide you that what you have deleted actually, which item on index 0 you have deleted here. So it will give output and restore that variable to this value to the variable here. Let's apply here. So I am removing item from the 0 index. So let me check deleted items or removed items. You can say it deleted item is apply. Okay, fine. So it will give you whatever I have deleted here in the message box. But apart from this, I want one thing more. I want to check it what the list is showing now, whether it's showing all the items or it is just showing after deletion. Let's enable this action. My list is my list here, and let me go through all the items here. So list item, so let's store it here and save it. Something I forgot, I think. Okay, this one. Okay, so this is how we have iterating after deleting also. Let's save this program and run it and check the result. So what will be the output? It should remove Mahesh and show only 4 after removing the items. So delete item is Mahesh, that's fine as per our expectation. Now you can see when it's iterating, it has removed the Mahesh. It start from the Raju one. List item is Raju. First, Shakir second, Laju third, and then in fourth. So we have 4 items now. Out of 5, one has been removed. That's good it actually. So this is the very good feature they have added here. List package provide very good flexibility to do all these type of operations on the list. So let's set item again. So we have removed here, and what we like now, deleted items. In this after deletion, we want to add some set item actually. Or instead of deleting, what we will do, remove this item. I don't need it, this message was delete this. Instead of Mahesh on the first position, what we required, my list at index 0, I want to replace this with some new value. So new name is Praveen, you can say like this. So what I wanted, instead of Mahesh, I want Praveen on the first 0 name index. So you can use that one now. I hope it was Praveen only on new name. Let me check. Yeah, Praveen. Right, so we want to replace with this one and assign output to prompt only. apply here. Now what we required, I want message, one message here, just add the message or copy this one only, copy action after set item, paste after this. I want to check that which item has been replaced. So replaced item is this one. We are replacing with this one. Okay, fine. And then we will go through the all the items. So let's save this, run this. Now as per our expectation, what will happen, it will show you the item replaced, and then it will show all the trading through the list. So replace item which we have replaced it is Mahesh. So we have replaced this item with Praveen. Let's go through the iteration. So list item is now starting from Praveen instead of Mahesh, that is on position index 0. So we have the first item Praveen, Raju, Shakir and Laiju and Dinendra. So 5 items we have. We do not have the Mahesh here. So this is how you can replace or you can set item on some specific index or your desired index. So guys, we have finished the list operation. Also this is very good feature added, the package added to the A2019. I hope you would have liked this feature, and if you feel, you can try yourself, and if you face any issues on setting or anything else on list operations, you can contact me, you can comment me. Thank you for watching my videos, and request you as always, subscribe my channel to get more videos on my channel. Thank you guys, thank you very much.